Okay, guys, so I did this episode last week with Bethenny Frankel talking about her divorce. It was not last week, sorry. It was like 2 weeks ago. Posted that and was very excited to hear her kind of finally talking about her divorce from Jason Hoppy. And then a few days later, her mom died. And then that was really sad. And my thought was, oh, she's probably going to pause and mourn the death of her mother and work through the grief and all that stuff. And I didn't really think about the videos that she had put up, but then somebody messaged me. This dear person messaged me on YouTube and said, hey, she took those videos down, because I was kind of pointing to them from this podcast episode and my YouTube channel. So she said, hey, she took those down. And I was like, thank you for telling me. My thought was because her mom died. I don't know if this person knew her mom died. So then I went and looked, and they were gone, and there was no comment there about anything. But then I looked and did a little bit more research into this, and she had gone live, I think, on TikTok and explained that, just the weight of the loss of her mom, who she had a very complicated relationship with, on top of having these videos out talking about this very deep topic, this very difficult topic of her extremely difficult 10-year divorce from him. She just decided to pull them down while she's grieving, which makes total sense. But she did make it very clear that this is, based on the responses she was getting from her videos about her divorce, that she knows this is a really important topic, and she's going to get back to it when she's good and ready. I hope that she takes the time that she needs to take. So I was actually shooting that episode like a quick explainer after this person. I'm going to just figure out what her name was, but the person who messaged me, yeah, so I don't know how I could have forgotten her name. Thank you, Jezebel. She said she took those podcasts down. I'm not sure why. I don't think she's going to talk about it anymore. Maybe her ex sent a cease and desist. I was really looking forward to it too. So thankfully that was not the case. So she is just taking it down for herself. As far as I know, up to now, this was a few days ago, I've got stuff happening in my life with one of my children that's very serious. So I had to kind of pause to just readjust life to the situation that she's in. So she has them down. I also did some more research, and I found another website that I think really can fill in some of the blanks. What I noticed is, as I was researching this whole situation with her talking about this, is there are a lot of people that just don't believe that she was in an abusive relationship, or that maybe she was the abuser, which this story is very familiar to us who are in this world. And I found somebody on Reddit who was like, go check the Bravo, what is it called? So I just wanted to let you guys know that the show that I was mentioning, where you can go and learn a little bit more detail, or a lot more detail, about Bethenny's divorce from the perspective of two lawyers, is called Bravo Docket, or Bravo Dockets. I have it listed in the notes below. And I mean, the fact that it's two different lawyers discussing these Bravo cases, including there's a part 1 and a part 2 regarding her divorce and all the things that went on. So go check that out to fill yourselves in. I have not had the pleasure of listening yet, but I'm sure that'll be very interesting in contrast with whatever she will say when she decides to resume. So go check that out. And basically, it's all about these legal cases that show up through these Bravo TV shows. So from 2022, there's at least one podcast, if not more, where they go into greater detail about that divorce, all the different things that Jason did to mess with her, to mess with her daughter, the whole situation. So if you're somebody who wants to know, because you're not sure, you're on the fence, anybody watching this video, maybe you're not a fan of her, maybe you just don't understand these situations with coercive control, emotional abuse, gaslighting, all the things, that's okay. Go check out those files. I will put the link in the more section below the video. I'll put it in the show notes as well. But I think that can shed some light on this until Bethenny comes back. But the other thing I want to say is, while I was recording the original of this. I'm re-recording because it kind of doesn't make any sense anymore. I was recording this follow-up while I was in the middle of that and getting ready to edit it together. Bethenny went live about her mom and the death of her mom and how that had impacted her. And she didn't mention anything really much about the divorce videos. But if you are somebody who's trying to figure out how the heck could somebody like her kind of get trapped into this guy's web of whatever, for me, the biggest thing that came out of it, I mean, it was heartbreaking to see the very strained relationship that she had with her mom. She obviously really loved her mother as a child and really looked up to her mom and thought she was beautiful and still does. But it was a very hot and cold type of narcissistic mother relationship. And her mom, I'll let you go check it out. But if that resonates with you, where you have a parent, especially a mother like that, you will understand that then if you have those narcissistic relationships and that's kind of normalized in your upbringing, I think it makes you much more likely, much more susceptible to be pulled into friendships that are like that, jobs where your boss might be like that, or co-workers, a boyfriend or a girlfriend who might be like that. So it explained a lot to me. It really, really filled in the blanks. So it's heart-wrenching. It's very difficult to watch. But at the same time, it's like, it's her therapy. You can see that she really needed to work through and has been working through all of these emotions, these very deep emotions about her mom and her daughter. And she was kind of estranged, I think, from her mom, or choosing not to be close to her. But then her daughter was asking her about wanting to meet her grandmother, wanting to see this relationship. And she stepped over her own feelings and allowed that to happen, thankfully, before her mom died. And she discusses that. And anyway, I just think it's really an important thing to see. And I think it kind of sets the tone for wherever she's going to go with more of sharing her relationship and whatever did unfold with Jason Hoppy. So I would say go check that out. And my apologies if you listened to the last or watched the last episode, however you decided to look at that information, listen to the information, and then I was sending you to these videos, and then you're like, they're not there. So yeah, so they will be back. She will bring them back and she will continue the conversation at some point in time. Can't blame her for taking the time off. I think it makes sense. But anyway, I wanted to just share that with you. So that is my episode for today. And I have a couple of interviews coming up. One is with Patty Johnston, and Patty Johnston is somebody who can help all of us with blocks that come from these highly dysfunctional scenarios when we're growing up, where we feel like we're less than, not enough. We're trying to really just measure up, and maybe we don't feel like we can. And then we create these behaviors that kind of get in the way of us being successful. Anyway, Patty is amazing. She's just so heart-centered. I only met her about a week ago, and I was like, I need to have you on my podcast. I haven't been doing any interviews, but I have to put you on. She's a mama. We've got Mother's Day coming up. I wanted to highlight some moms. And she just has such a great turnaround story for how she overcame her own limitations and things that were holding her back as a single parent, actually, and learned how to make money, and ended up selling her business for a lot of money and then creating another business and another business. So like, this is a really inspiring story. It's very short, but you'll be able to reach out to Patty if you want to learn more about her. And so look for that episode coming up. I hope to hear from you soon, either by comments. If you want to comment on the YouTube, it's just Steph Roberts on YouTube. If you're using social media, you can go to The Audacious Life on Instagram, or Audacious Mamas on Instagram. And again, I'm going to put that community tab up on my YouTube. I think that is the best way. So get into that hopefully tonight. All right. Thanks for tuning in, you guys.